I get a lot of people telling me that they are a little intimidated by the takedown procedure and the reassembly of the Rohrbaugh R9s. It is a little different than some guns because it's a little different design, but there's nothing difficult about it at all. It's actually very easy if you know a couple of little tricks. Actually, if you just know how to do it, and there's one little trick you need to know. So I will actually show you here the disassembly of it and the reassembly of it. First, of course, we are going to remove the magazine. Take that out, set it aside, and then we're going to check the gun. The gun is clear. You can see all the way through there. The gun is clear. So the gun is empty and ready to disassemble. First step is just removing the pin. You just slide the frame back. You'll see, let's see if you can see it here. You can actually see the pin in there. And you just line that pin up with this. You go to the opposite side. I use a toothpick, and you just start shoving it out. Right there, it comes right out. Just pull that out. Slide comes right off. It's that simple. Okay, now putting the gun back together, reassembling it, is pretty easy, but there is one little thing that's a little different. You know, of course, you just take your slide, place your barrel into your slide. Now, this is where it gets a little bit different, and I'm going to show you the parts here. The guide piece rod has this little cap thing that goes over the end of it, over the end of the spring like that, which is unusual. You don't see that in most guns. And sometimes it's very hard to get that lined up in here to where the guide rod can still come through the hole. So what you got to do is you kind of got to hold the guide rod. So what you got to do after you screw it up the first time, you have to go chase this little piece across the room, is you have to get that piece pulled back like that, with that exposed out through it. And then you stick that into the hole and slide that in place. That makes it go in easily. Just make sure to pull that back, hold it with your fingers first, and then slip the little end in, and then slide it down in. A lot of people have a lot of trouble getting that in. And I will try to do it here one more time just to show you. Just make sure you got the guide rod here fully assembled. You pull this back, and it is under pressure, so you got to push it through hard. Push it in there, and then slide it down in. And then on the end here, you just have to get that worked back into the hole. And there it is in. Simple and easy. It's just a lot of people have trouble getting this multi-piece guide rod back into place because of this little end cap here. And it's really just that simple. Just squeeze it through, push that in the hole first, and then push it into place. If you try to just slide this down against the hole and push it through, you'll never get it lined up to where that goes through. So just do it the way I showed you, and you'll get it in quick and easy every time. Okay, now that you have your slide back together, one other thing you have to know, one little trick, is that it is very important where this big round part of your slide stop, or of your guide rod, is at right here. Because this has to fit into a spot on the frame here. If you can see that little circular area right there, that has to be able to go right in there. So if you have it off too much to one side or the other, or up and down, it will not go on. So you have to try to make sure that this is perfectly perpendicular and evenly balanced in its position right there, so that your slide will go back on your frame. See right here, it's a little off. See how it's not going all the way on, and my guide rod's popping out? That's because that little round part is not sliding into the hole, so I will have to readjust it a little bit. Okay, there you can see now it went on perfectly that time. The little round part slid right into the little round hole. So now all we have to do is put the slide stop pin back in. Okay, to do that we just do what we did before. We hold the slide back till we see the spot there. Then we just do in reverse. This time we take the pin, we stick it in. Then we take our little toothpick, shove it all the way in. The gun is reassembled. All you have to do now Put the magazine back in the gun. Chamber around, and you're ready to rock. Boy, that was cheesy.